Hello, my friends. It's your nuclear DM. It sort of rhymes. So, what's going on? What's happening? Last time I was doing this, which is like a year ago or something. Holy crap. Been a while. Anyway, last time I was doing this, I was trying to run a solo meat grinder campaign. I think I'm going to go back to the DM tutorial mode, because I actually do think that's a good idea. A lot of these modules can be kind of confusing, especially at first. And for now, start at the beginning with the original adventure, Lost Mine of Phandelver. And I was going to make some characters before we even started, but this particular adventure actually comes with 5 characters right away. So I thought I would just use these 5 characters as my party. As an introduction, this YouTube channel is meant for Dungeon Masters only. It will have spoilers for the adventures themselves if you're a player who's interested in playing these or something at some point. But you're interested in learning how to run these games, then I'm the channel for you. This isn't going to teach you any of the basics or anything like that. Probably find other channels for that. And I'll give you my advice along the way, stuff I like to do when I run these adventures and stuff like that. Anyway, here's the party. There's 2 fighters, a rogue, a cleric, and a wizard. Most standard, basic D&D party. This is like the first 4 classes ever made. Anyway, so I get to name all these people. If this is your first time playing, unless your players are like more experienced than you are, they're probably first time players too, right? First time running a DM, I would say just use these pre-made characters, or kind of talk about like what you want for a party is basically probably a frontliner, a healer, a rogue, or something like a rogue that could disarm traps and pick locks. And a wizard is like a long-range caster. Now to name everyone. This guy looks vaguely like me, so I'll name him me. No, I won't do that. He's just a standard human, so I'll name him a standard human name, like, I don't know, Harry. Now, her, fighter, noble. It's also just a standard human, so how about a standard human name, like Janet. So there's my 2 fighters, Harry and Janet. The cleric. The cleric is a hill dwarf. That'd be a good dwarven name. To the name generator, Nalra. Sounds like a good name. Nalra, the hill dwarf soldier. And then the rogue, Lightfoot halfling. Rick. There we go. Rick the rogue. I like it. I'm the wizard. There's a high elf wizard. Kai. There we go. Keep it simple. It's obviously a nickname to something that's probably really long elvish name. Okay, so we have our party of misfits. Let's see, introductions, background, that's what we want. Okay, as a backstory for this is a pretty straightforward adventure. It's still one of the best adventures, despite being the very first thing that was put out. Okay, this isn't that long, so I'll just read the whole thing, screw it. More than 500 years ago, clans of dwarves and gnomes made an agreement known as the Phandelver's Pact, by which they would share a rich mine in a wondrous cavern known as Wave Echo Cave. In addition to its mineral wealth, the mine contained great magical power. Human spellcasters allied themselves with the dwarves and gnomes to channel and bind that energy into a great forge called the Forge of Spells, where magic items could be crafted. Times were good, and the nearby human town of Phandalin prospered as well. But then disaster struck when orcs swept through the north and laid waste to all in their path. A powerful force of orcs, reinforced by evil mercenary wizards, attacked Wave Echo Cave to seize its riches and magic treasures. Human wizards fought alongside their dwarf and gnome allies to defend the Forge of Spells, and the ensuing spell battle destroyed much of the cavern. Few survived the cave-ins and tremors, and the location of Wave Echo Cave was lost. For centuries, rumors of buried riches have attracted treasure seekers and opportunists to the area around Phandalin, but no one has ever succeeded in locating the lost mine. In recent years, people have resettled the area. Phandalin is now a rough and tumble frontier town. More importantly, the Rockseeker brothers, a trio of dwarves, have discovered the entrance to Wave Echo Cave, and they intend to reopen the mines. Unfortunately for the Rockseekers, they're not the only ones interested in Wave Echo Cave. A mysterious villain known as the Black Spider controls a network of bandit gangs and goblin tribes in the area, and his agents have followed the Rockseekers to their prize. Now the Black Spider wants Wave Echo Cave for himself, and he is taking steps to make sure no one else knows where it is. See, that's all the backstory. Like most adventures, you want to read the backstory and kind of understand it, but just so you know, like, don't feel you have to use all this. Don't you have to use any of it, actually, but if you want to follow along with the module, and not just rip everything up and be like, I'll just improv the whole thing or something. That you don't really have to use all this stuff. And you can also like tear apart any adventure and just like be like, I just want to use this dungeon and these people, you know, or these NPCs or whatever. Anyway, this is like a pretty straightforward one, you know, there's a cave, people want it, these Rockseeker brothers want it as well, but they're like good guys and want to just use it as a forge to forge magical items, which would be useful, right? Also, something about the Rockseekers is that if you wanted to, you could also start in like a tavern and then have Gundren Rockseeker come up to them and be like, you look like a group of rough and tutty adventurers or whatever. But say something to the characters about them having their backstory with Gundren Rockseeker in it, or have him like be a mentor or something. Like, make him someone who's important to the characters because he's going to be really important for this adventure. Or if you have that first scene in a bar or something, which could be good. A lot of players like to have a scene like that right away, just to have them like introduce themselves in a safe location basically, and not just suddenly be on the road or something. Not have to be in action right away. Like, you're in a bar first, then the adventure comes. It's like a really classic opening. If this is your first adventure, I would almost suggest that, like, start the adventure in Neverwinter. Oh, something about these maps, just if you're using Roll20 maps. Oftentimes they do not have these on a level that the players can see them on, and you have to put them to the map layer. Like, there's Neverwinter, now the players can see it, and it also won't interfere with the tokens if you accidentally put to the token layer. Just go to the token layer over here, and then do the same thing, put it back to the map layer. Also, for the most part, like, I'm having them all out right now, just they're all on the road traveling together, you know. And you can do that if you want, but most of the time just having one token to be the party marker is enough, because unwritten rule, don't ever split the party, because that's when people die. There's the overview. I've done this adventure a few times, so I can tell you right now. Goblin Arrows. You will be attacked on the road. It's like a really early encounter, and then have to go and find the goblin hideout to figure out what's going on. Second chapter is in Phandalin. The town is under siege, kinda, or it's been captured, I guess, by bandits. The players have to figure out how to go and figure that out. Spider's Web is about kind of exploring the surrounding area and doing side missions, and then the final is a Wave Echo Cave, which is a pretty big dungeon at the end. Adventure Hook. I'll read this. Meet me in Phandalin. The characters are in a city of Neverwinter when their dwarf patron friend Gundren Rockseeker hires them to escort a wagon to Phandalin. Gundren has gone ahead with the warrior Sildar Hallwinter to attend a business in the town while the characters will follow with the supplies. Characters will be paid 10 gold pieces each by the owner of Barthen's Provisions in Phandalin when they deliver the wagon safely to the trading post. Okay, like a lot of these adventures sound like something simple. You just have to meet your friend in Phandalin, and then you'll each make 10 gold. Pretty simple. In fact, like when Gundren is introducing it to them in that bar in Neverwinter, just have them say something just like that, you know? It's a very simple adventure, my friends. Very simple. Just have to meet me in Phandalin, and he'll get paid. Get them all on board right away. Goblin Arrows. First chapter of the first book. I guess this is what boxed information looks like in this one. Just there's a line next to it. So I'll read that out. In the city of Neverwinter, a dwarf named Gundren Rockseeker asks you to bring the wagon load of provisions to the rough and tumble settlement of Phandalin. A couple of days' travel southeast in the city. Gundren was clearly excited and more than a little secretive about the reasons for the trip, saying only that he and his brothers had found something big, and that he'd pay you 10 gold pieces each for escorting his supplies safely to Barthen's Provisions, a trading post in Phandalin. He then set out ahead of you on horse, along with a warrior escort named Sildar Hallwinter, claiming he needed to arrive early to take care of business. You spent the last few days following the road south from Neverwinter, and you've just recently veered east along Tribor Trail. You've encountered no trouble so far, but this territory can be dangerous. Bandits and outlaws have been known to lurk along the trail. The party's marching order, you probably want to say okay, what's your marching order? And then make a note of that and be like, okay, unless you specify, otherwise I'm going to assume this is the marching order you're in. Also, there's a wagon with them. One of them's probably driving it. Explain that you don't need any real skill to drive it. You don't have to roll or anything, but somebody needs to drive it. In this case, we'll say Harry's driving it. Yeah, on to the Goblin Ambush section. In the original version, there wasn't a map for this. I guess they added one at some point. I mean, it's just a special Roll20 map, but everyone online and There's space behind because the oxen's in between them. If you want to get like a cart icon for them to push around, that might be good. Read the following text, so I'll do that. Be on the Tribor Trail for about half a day. As you come around a bend, you spot 2 dead horses sprawled about 50 feet ahead of you, blocking the path. Each has several black feathered arrows sticking out of it. The woods press close to the trail here with a steep embankment and dense thickets on either side. Now, after reading that out, you probably just want to sit back and let the players do whatever they're going to do, let them talk to each other, let them discuss it, like, oh no, there's something ahead. Janet will say something like, stay back, I'll go up and look. And a closer investigation, you can clearly identify the horses belonging to Gundren Rockseeker and Sildar Hallwinter. And if she makes the right medicine check, she can determine different things. But that you should always call for checks most of the time, even if they're most likely to succeed, or even if there's nothing there. I always call for checks. I want to sneak past this door. Okay, make a stealth check, even though there's nothing on the other side of the door. There's no way they're gonna get caught. You still have to make stealth checks or whatever, because they don't know. Anyway, so she will make a medicine check. 19. She definitely can tell that these horses have been dead about a day, and it's clear the arrows killed the horses. And after that, that's when these 4 goblins jump out and attack her, and everyone has to roll for initiative. With 5 people, it's probably fine, but this particular encounter has been known to just wipe parties right away. This is why you hide your rolls, so then you can cheat for the party a little bit. Something I'm not going to do, but being level 1 is kind of a punishment unto itself in this game. So I usually cheat for the players just a little bit. I'll be instead of being a critical hit, just a normal hit. The goblin hits them or something like that. Or instead of a hit, it's a miss this time, because you're almost dead or whatever. But even a single hit from a goblin is liable to kill somebody when you're level 1. So the goblin goes first. They jump out of nowhere. They're just like, we're gonna attack you. We kill everyone on the road. They're gonna jump up and attack Janet. 20, that hits for 4 slashing damage. Janet already injured. Oh no, she says. And Rick's turn. I'll help you, Janet. So get that for attack with a short bow. Critical hit. So that killed it. 1 hit wonder. Nalra's turn. She'll move up to there, and then I think she'll cast Sacred Flame on this goblin. Just to make a dexterity save. He does. So dodges out of the way. Last goblin. Scimitar move forward, attack Harry. Scimitar. Ooh, critical hit. So 9 damage. Taking a big chunk out of him. Janet's turn. She'll move to the opposite side there. She has advantage. Attacking with her great axe. 18, that hits. 15 slashing, killing the goblin. Yeah, goblins aren't that hard or anything. More than likely, this is how the fight will go when your players fight them too. They will make short work of the goblins. Nalra's turn. She will move forward and then this is cast Sacred Flame again. So it takes 5 radiant damage. Kai. I think Kai will cast Magic Missile too. He'll do 1 at that one and 2 at the other one. So that'll kill that one. And Janet, let's go to there and attack Kai with her great axe, which hits 5 more damage. She cuts its head off and it dies. And the battle's over. At this point, they stay behind. Well, actually, let's have one of them roll a survival check as they look around. You can do so with advantage because everyone's helping them. Critical hit. Holy crap. So he finds that there is a trail that leads to the north. Go back to the area map, but they find the trail which would lead them to Cragmar hideout. I always feel this place is in the woods just from the map that you go to. So I like to say that when they travel through it, they actually travel through a deeply wooded area, just because there's this wooded area outside, up here. I think I'm gonna just use Harry as the party marker here, mostly because I said he looks kind of like me. Red hair and a beard. And that is literally the only thing that we have similar. There's one more thing they do. Let's go forward to Phandalin, which is just up here, because then they can turn in caravan, get 10 gold, have a long rest, and I would say that's just as common from the parties. I've started this game a lot, and I've seen a lot of parties to go to the Cragmar hideout right away, a lot that go to Phandalin right away. Just sometimes they won't even investigate those dead horses, and then they'll just go to Phandalin and have no idea what's going on. That's when you need someone to be like, hey, we're still looking for those people who were supposed to arrive with you. They never arrived. Hey, go look for them. And then just give some pretty severe hints that they're supposed to go out to the cave or go back up the trail. Some people will just ignore all that and just do what they want, in which case have them just happily run into the Crackball hideout somehow as they explore things randomly. We'll just go there. So, I think Jan will be in front this time. Actually, I'm going to stop there, I think. Thanks for watching.